All right then. I think I finally got to the sweet spot on my propane regulating system for my coffee roaster. This has been covered in a previous video. Um, I like this regulator. However, it was having issues with, well, we're having a hard time dealing with this kind of pressure on the inlet side. So that high pressure into this regulator, it should handle it, but remember this is made for welding, not necessarily for low pressure that we're using here. I cook with about, anywhere from 2 to 7 inches of water column for the burner, depending on where I am in a roast. Very, very low pressure. And it would vary up and down and up and down, this one would, when it had this much pressure on the inlet side. So I thought, well, I'll just put a regulator in between and see how that works. So I bought a regulator that is tuned for between 11 and 13 inches of water column. And so obviously is putting out a whole lot less, I don't want to say pressure, because when there's no flow, it's equal on the other side. But so I can't really say exactly what pressure it is, but these things are calibrated for water column. So it's a Mr. Heater. And I simply, well, here's where it gets complicated. I rethreaded this piece here to fit this adapter. So I can now insert this into this regulator, and it is absolutely beautiful. It just maintains, springs up, and stays wherever it needs. I don't have to fine tune it. So real quick, we'll go through here. I'm just going to show you. These are all brass adapters, obviously. This gauge is what came with this. So this gauge actually sat here. This was still there. And then the output side here, these are both outputs for the regulator. So I'll run through it here so you can see how it's built. Works absolutely amazing. Probably $35 worth of brass fittings. As you all know, going to the supermarket, everything is, well, silly expensive now. And here's the output. That is the gas line that goes over to the roaster. From the other side, looks like this. And it's absolutely amazing. Turn the gas on. Obviously I don't have there you go, that'll work better. Don't have a flame on it, but you can see once you dial it in, see how it just works really, really nice. It goes and it stays. It's stable. You don't have to watch it all the time. I mean, it creeps a little bit, but not very much. And it goes all the way to 12.5, well, 13 inches, and then back down again. So it works absolutely amazing. I can really, this is what I should have done to start with. However, it's not for everybody. Starting to tinker with rethreading and stuff. You could find the correct fittings if you had a good place to go to. I'm sure you could. It is just, it just depends on what is available for you at your store locally. But just wanted to show that this is what this thing came with. This is kind of a wonky diameter. So what I should have done now, instead of rethreading into this big brass piece, I regret doing that. It just took a lot of work and sealant and whatnot. The problem is, you can see they're not the same. So what I should have done, I should have just left that piece screwed in, but I should have cut it right here and then simply just thread it with this part over there. That would have solved so many problems. So that's what I would recommend. If anybody's going to follow and do this, don't thread into this. It's just too much work with sealing the unit and whatnot. Just simply take this part that it comes with, cut it about here, and then go buy a tab at your local hardware store to match this, and just tap that in there. So you now have it converted. And then you can screw that in to the regulator and whatnot. Anyway, thought I'd share. Have a fantastic Friday.